Okay, I am back. I am on my phone because I still can't get my computer to cooperate. But that's not what's important right now. What's important is season 1, episode 2 of The Golden Girls. So, Kate is coming to town. Kate is Dorothy's daughter. She is this random lady we gonna see here and probably never see again. I don't remember if we see Kate again. I know we see Michael. I think we see Michael like twice. But yeah, Kate, she's on the way. She's coming in. She's introducing her boyfriend, who is a doctor. So Dorothy is, very excited that her daughter is dating a doctor. I feel like they made a big deal of that in the 1900s. Like back in the day, they really were like, "Oh, he's a doctor." It's not that deep. Like, okay, he a doctor. Yippee. Anywho, so she starts off the show anxious about Kate coming, and she mad at Blanche for giving the wrong directions, or saying that the directions given were wrong, and it's just like, girl, relax. They can find the house, and they do. Kate comes in, and she's alone, and I thought this was very interesting that Kate comes, she hugs her mom. Dorothy is like, "Well, where's Dennis?" Dennis is obviously the boyfriend, and she's like, "Oh, he had a conference, but he'll be here later or tomorrow or whatever." And it's just like, so you really didn't come to see your mama. You came because your man had a conference in Miami, and you were like, "Oh yeah, my mama live here." You ain't come here to visit your mama. That's foolish. Like, girl, cause we never gonna hear from you again. You don't see it for your mama at all. Terrible. Anywho, they just happen to be in the neighborhood. Dennis just happened to have his little conference or whatever, his seminar. Child. Anyway, Kate tells them that they're flying to the Bahamas to get married the day after tomorrow. And instead of asking questions like, "Hey, you marrying this man that I've never met in my life or in yours? You just marrying this man the day after tomorrow?" She's so blinded by the fact that he's a doctor that she don't have no questions, because I would have questions. Like, what do you mean you marrying this man? He could be anybody. He could be Ted Bundy. And you just sliding down to the Bahamas to marry him. If you don't let your mom and daddy lay eyes on this man, and your mama's cohorts, her roommates, like, and your grandmama, let your grandmama see. Anywho, it just worked me, because it was like, girl, what you mean the day after tomorrow y'all get married, but they don't even know this man a podiatrist? We'll get there, but like, they don't know this man and you gonna marry him? Well, okay, sure. So Dorothy is upset, but she's not upset about them getting married the day after tomorrow. She's getting upset that they're getting married in the Bahamas. Y'all live in Miami. The Bahamas is 2 minutes and 15 seconds away. What T.S. Madison used to say, it's only 20 minutes away. No matter where you are, you're only 20 minutes away. That's what it's giving. The Bahamas is only 20 minutes away. Like, and this was the 80s. You could have just lied and took somebody else's passport if you ain't have one. Like, there was no TSA. Just go to the Bahamas. I'm not getting it. They were acting like she was going to, like, the lost city of Atlantis to get married. It's the Bahamas. It's down the block. Anywho, Dorothy is upset because she's always dreamed of giving Kate a wedding. I guess it just really feels like either if you don't have it right now, that's cool. If you have it right now, give them some money to go down to the Bahamas and get married. If you don't have it right now, maybe see if you can ask Kate to come back and do a family wedding at a different time, or just send them some money. Like, I hope my mama hasn't always dreamed of giving me one, because I do what I want. Like, be so for real. Anywho, Kate This one I start thinking Kate a little dirty. Because Kate wants her daddy at the wedding. Why? Who knows? But she insists that Stanley come to the wedding. And somehow Dorothy gets roped into calling him. This your wedding, this your daddy, but I gotta call him after he cheated on me? Alright. So that will be the end of me and Kate. Because I see where your allegiance lies. Anyway, Dorothy calls Stan and he act like he don't know who on the phone. Like, be for real. Y'all were married 38 years. You know what she sounds like on the phone. You know her name when you hear it. You know who that is. Don't. Because she said it's Dorothy. So even if you didn't recognize the voice for some reason, you remember her name. Come on now. Stan just irks me. And then Dorothy was getting on my nerves too, acting like she won't stand back because she's like, oh, Chrissy can't come. And then she like sticks out her tongue and she like kind of, I don't know how to explain it. She's like excited with Rose. And it's like, I know you don't want this big bald headed man bag. And he only bald at the top. And then he covers it with a head rug. Terrible. Anywho, it was very much giving she wants him back. Oh, Chrissy cannot come. And she's just excited. Like, Dorothy, it gets to a point with you. Anyway, somehow, child, they're going to end up having a wedding in town. Why? I don't know. They don't have no family. Aunt Angela and Uncle Angelo aren't in town. Michael's not here. Uncle Phil, no Fresh Prince ain't here. You know, Blanche's brother Clayton, the homosexual, her sister Virginia or her sister Charmaine, none of these people are here. Big Daddy ain't dead yet. He not here. You know, Rose's daughter Kirsten and her granddaughter Charlie, they're not here. Nobody is here. It's just random people that they accumulated for the reception that they have at the house. But it's just like, why you threw this party? Why you threw this wedding and there's nobody here? Nobody from your family. It looked like nobody from his family. Y'all just had a random wedding. Like, hated it. I really hated that. But before we even get there, Sophia is stealing cheese balls. They're making cheese balls for the function. Sophia is eating them. She's eaten 24 of them since this morning. There were 48, now there are 24. It's just like, girl, let her have them cheese balls. Don't nobody want them. Kate brings Dennis by. Dennis, he brings flowers. He's hugging, kissing. Why? How are you? He's handsome. He's a doctor, and yay. Until Sophia asks for a free checkup. And then this is when Kate has to speak up on Dennis's behalf. Oh, he doesn't have a stethoscope. And Dorothy's like, well, of course not. He's on vacation. And she's like, well, no, it's because he's a podiatrist. And everybody just record scratch, mouth drop, freeze. It's just like, why? He's still a doctor. He really could still do a checkup on her. I'm not understanding why they were acting like because he attends to feet, he didn't go to medical school. He could still look at her and make sure she's okay overall. And if he thinks something is off, he could, you know, refer her somewhere. I'm not getting it. Anyway, Rose asked him if he has ever met Dr. Scholl. I chuckled. I was like, ha ha ha, you know? Please. Anyway, Sophia, ever the straight shooter, very much like me, but I wouldn't go this far. She's asked Dennis how much he makes. Just straight up, how much money you make. What are you bringing home? Dennis does not answer the question. And I wanted to know the answer because I'm nosy. But Dorothy welcomes Dennis into the family. And if you go back and watch the episode, I'm assuming y'all are watching with me. It's on Hulu is where I'm watching. If you go back and watch the episode, or I'm sure if you just type into YouTube, Dorothy meets Dennis, or Dorothy the podiatrist, something like that, I'm sure you'll see it. Dorothy is sitting in the middle of Kate and Dennis, and they are both essentially sitting on B. Arthur's lap. Like, they are both so close to her. And it's like, She looked like she smelled like cigarettes. No shade. It's just it looked like she smelled like cigarettes. And it's like I know everybody in the 80s smelled like cigarettes, so like you know how it is, but dang, you know. Anyway, we get to Stanley. He comes to the door. We get ready to go to the wedding, and Stan comes to the door, and Dorothy slams the door in his face. And it's the first time we see that happen. It's gonna, become a running gag, and I love it. Let me see. So they get ready to go to the church to get married, and again, they could have just went 20 minutes down the road to the Bahamas. I'm just not getting it, but okay. Blanche and Rose convince Dorothy to hold her head up high and go out there and give it her best, the old college try, because Stanley will not make her lose her cool today. And it's like, maybe he will. Who knows? But no, apparently not. She pulls her shoulders back and tilts her chin up, and she's marching towards the church. It's like, okay. So we come back. We at the wedding reception, and there's a lucky black lady and a black man that made it onto the Golden Girls season 1 episode 2. Congrats. One of probably 4 black people. Well, let me see. We got them 2. We got Ruby D. We got dang, what's her name? Oh my god, it's escaping me. The young lady that played Teresa in The Women of Brewster Place. Oh my god, it's gone. Hello. Anyway, we have her. And then we have the woman that's not Madge Sinclair, but that's almost Madge Sinclair, that played Michael's wife in the future. So what is that, 5? Yeah, we got 5 black people. Oh, we got the brother of the scalp, the guy, the tax audit man. He was black. Oh, and we have it's me sitting here like, who are all the black people? We have Meshach Taylor as the police officer in episode 1. So we up to 7. 7 black people out of 7 seasons. We're gonna keep a running tally of black people. So right now we are up to 3 black people, and this is only episode 2, so we're doing great so far. We're doing fantastic so far. Anyway, let's see. These people are just at the reception, but they're not intermingling. They're mingling with whoever they're mingling with, but it's not like we all here for Kate and Dennis. They look like they don't know who these people are. It looks like everybody was hired, and that's not how I would want my reception to go, but hey, whatever, child. Let me see. Rose is guarding the cheese balls instead of keeping an eye on Dorothy. Blanche goes over there. She's trying to watch Dorothy because I don't know what they think Dorothy gonna do. She said he would be close enough to kill, but like, she not gonna do nothing. She not gonna bust a grape, child. Please. But Blanche goes over there and she distracts Dorothy by asking Stanley for a glass of champagne. And Stanley, this is how we meet Stanley, and this is what I carry with me throughout the rest of the show. I don't like Stanley because we meet him. This is our first time meeting Stanley. And Blanche says, "Can you get us some champagne?" Stanley says, "It's always a pleasure to get a drink for an attractive woman." And then he pauses for a moment and says, "I guess I'll get one for you too, Dorothy." Are you insane? I would have let her go. If I were Blanche, I would have let Dorothy go and just waited to see what happened. Cause nasty work, filthy. And that's just the kind of ignorant, indignant behavior that makes Stanley easy for me to hate. I just can't stand him. Anyway, Blanche tells Dorothy a little secret that she learned at Miss MacGyver's finishing school. That when she's upset or uncomfortable, you just grab somebody's hand and give it a little squeeze. And so Dorothy is like, that's the big secret. And Blanche says, no. The big secret is Miss MacGyver and Miss McKee were sharing a one-bedroom apartment off campus. Now that's the tea. And it's just like, okay, lesbians. But then you have to think about, like, if this is finishing school and they in the 50s, in the 80s, that means they were born in the 30s, meaning that this is like the 50s that these lesbians were lesbianing, and that's kind of remarkable, I guess. Lesbians wasn't lesbianing back in the 50s, not where the people knew it. Stanley returns, and this is just another thing, and I'm nitpicking because I don't like Stanley. Like, I like the actor, and I like that the character exists, but I don't like the character, if that makes sense. But he returns, and I'm nitpicking because he returns with a coupe glass instead of a champagne flute. He returned with a cocktail glass instead of a flute, for which champagne shall be drunken. Like, it just never gave. It never gave he has class. Because why would you bring champagne in a cocktail glass? Like, foolish. Anyway, Stanley decides to make a toast with his cocktail glass and with his champagne in it. And he's like, to Kate, may she be as happy with her new life mate as I am with mine. And it's like, are you trying to get beat up? Because why? What was the point? And Kate is so weak, because I'd have been like, all right, you gotta go. You provoking my mama, like, you're playing. And it's not even just me defending my mama, it's you're actively doing things that are causing problems. Like, yes, I'm a ride for my mama, because that's my mama. She can have whatever she wants, and you could tweet until you blue in the face. That's my mama. But also, you're just you're picking at her. You're doing things that you know are gonna set her off, and you're doing that at my wedding. That's nasty work. You gotta go. But that's just me, child. Sophia, she comes out. She looks fantastic. That was such a cute outfit on Estelle Getty. That pink with the it's like a pink knit suit with a cream kind of trim around the collar and the what words am I looking? The sleeves. Very cute. Very cute. I like that on her. Let me see. They decide, Rose and Blanche decide it's time to cut the cake. How you decide it's time for a married couple to cut their own cake, I don't know. But Dorothy decides it's time for her to go in the kitchen, get a knife, and just begin to cut the cake. That's not her cake. See, and then Dorothy would have to leave. I done put Stanley out. Now Dorothy got to go too, because you doing too much. I don't care if this your house or not. You got to go, because why are you cutting my cake at my wedding reception? Anyway, I wish y'all could see how, like, I can feel my eyebrows just touching. I'm so disgruntled and just displeased by that. But y'all can't see me because I'm virtual now. I'm in the cloud. Imagine if I like died like 2 years ago, but y'all didn't know it, and so I'm virtual. Like, I uploaded my consciousness, and now I'm just this emoji, but y'all think I'm still living. That would be something. That's not the case. I am still alive, but that would be something. Anyway, so yeah, Dorothy's getting ready to cut the cake, and Rose is like, no, don't do it, because she think Dorothy finna stab Stan. And I'm like, no, everybody is being ridiculous. Everybody. And Dorothy's like, no, I'm not gonna stab Stan, there's too many witnesses. And it's like, okay, LOL. But Dorothy goes to her room to sit down. She wants to be sad, and her mama comes in and is like, stop being sad, we gotta go throw rice at the kids. And it's like, she can be sad. It's okay for her to be sad. Like, that's one thing about Sophia's character. She really didn't let people sit in their feelings. I'm a sit in your feelings type of girl. So I feel like it's okay for her to be sad. It's not a great time for her to be sad right now because, again, we're at this wedding. However, if this is the time her emotions hit her and she's at her house in her room, that's okay. But anywho, Dorothy is angry with Stanley, as we know, and Sophia tells Dorothy to tell Stanley. So we'll get there in just a bit. But Dorothy goes back out and she hugs Kate and she says to Kate, be a good wife and be his friend. And I'm like, be a good wife is crazy. Because we don't see Stanley telling Dennis to be a good husband. Or even Dorothy telling Dennis to be a good husband. But be a good wife. Please. Please. Anywho. So we get outside. I'm sorry I sniffed, y'all. I'm going through with my allergies. I have sniffed a couple times. I apologize. We get to the lanai. Out to the lanai, and Dorothy snatches Stanley's wig off of his head and drags him, and it's like, you had your lawyer, your legal representative call and tell me we were getting a divorce. You did not tell me. You had the divorce lawyer call me and tell me. That's foolish. That's foul. That's not okay. And then she goes on her little rant about, because Stan says things happen, and she's like, you're damn right, things happen. Love happened, marriage happened, children happened, Christmas happened, and this and that, and the lean years, and the times when the business was failing, and the happy times. I'm like, hello? Like, she really went off on this soliloquy. And it's like, get it out, I guess, but this is so random and so dramatic. But B. Arthur has tears in her eyes. If you go back and watch this episode, she's actually like, she feels this. She has tears. She is emoting, and it's like, I've read and heard that B. Arthur didn't feel very comfortable being a dramatic actress, but I think she really could have had something if she had tried to pursue drama instead of comedy, because she, I don't know, she was eating it up. It was random and out of place, but she was eating it up. And she ends it, I'm sorry, I just keep sniffing. I can't breathe out of one nostril, so I'm trying to like sniff to get that air in. I'm sorry. Anywho, at the end of her moment, her rant, her rave, she says, I finally get to say what I didn't get to say before. Goodbye. And Stanley hops up, but Dorothy, I said goodbye, Stanley. It's like, if this were filmed in 2026, that would have been a line for laughs. That would have been, I said good day, sir. But that was actually written to be dramatic. The audience did not chuckle. That was actually like real life drama. And that's so intriguing to me, how we live in a world post that line and post that performance. So if it were written today, and she would like, goodbye, Stanley, and she would like, I said goodbye, Stanley, and the audience would laugh. They would be like, oh, LOL, a good chuckle. But that's not the world that they were living in. That's so intriguing to me. Sorry, I rambling, but that's what I do. But yeah, she should have got the Emmy for that. She really should have. Anyway, all in all, Dorothy, she was blindsided by Kate getting married and him being a podiatrist in the Bahamas, and Stanley. She just had a really tumultuous episode. She had a lot of emotions that she was going through. With Kate, I can't stand her. I can't stand her, because why would you ever have put your mama in the position to, number one, have to be in a room with this cheating man, this man that left her 2 years ago, out of the 38 years they were married. So I don't know math, but there's a small percentage of time that they've been away from each other, and you gonna make her call. Child, should have got Sophia on that phone. Anywho, Kate, I didn't see it for her. I really didn't. Dennis, he just there. God bless him. He's just a foot doctor. Stanley, he and Kate are villains to me, but especially Stanley because it's a pleasure to get a drink for a beautiful woman, and you too, Dorothy. That was so nasty and so unnecessary to me that I could never heal. I could never heal. The way people talk about Dorothy on the show, you gonna hear me rant about a lot because it's just not kind. But the way her ex-husband slash father of her multiple children talked to her after leaving her for a flight attendant and not telling her, letting the divorce lawyer tell her, he's scum. And I'm with Sophia. Every time she says he's a yutz and he's a bachagaloop and all that she calls him, yeah, he is. He is. He's terrible. Blanche, sorry, I sniffed. Blanche is, I don't know, she in the know. She knows lesbians. That's pretty much all her episode gave. And Rose was fighting behind them cheese balls. And Sophia was eating the cheese balls. And that's really the episode. So I'll be back for episode 3. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things that YouTube will say, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.